Hi friends, welcome to Electraspirant, an assistance to electrical students for objective type exam preparation conducted by the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, Christ College of Engineering, Irinyalakuda. In this video, we will be discussing the question paper for the Assistant Electrical Inspector, and the questions discussed will be from 1 to 25. Question 1. The zero voltage regulation in a transformer occurs at the leading power factor. Option C is the correct answer. Moving on to question 2. A parallel plate capacitor has 15 microfarad capacitance. If the linear dimensions of the plate are doubled, linear dimensions means the length and the breadth. If that is doubled and the distance between the plate is also doubled, what will be the new value of capacitance? If you're looking at the equation, capacitance is given by epsilon A by D. The area dimensions have been doubled. The dimensions have been doubled means length and breadth are doubled. Area becomes 4 times. Distance is 2 times. Therefore, 4 by 2 will give you 2. The new capacitance will be 2 times the previous capacitance. The previous capacitance was 15 microfarad. 15 into 2 will give you 30. So option B is the correct answer. Moving on to the third question. The resistance of a 230 volt 100 watt bulb is R1 and that of a 230 volt 75 watt bulb is R2. Then what will be the relationship between the two resistors? If you're looking at the particular question, both of the voltage ratings are the same. So the resistance depends solely upon the wattage of the bulbs. Now, the higher watt bulb will be having a lower resistance, and since 100 is greater than 75, R1 will be less than R2, and therefore the correct answer will be option C. R1 is less than R2. The relationship is based on P is equal to V square by R. From that you will get R is equal to V square by P. Now, moving on to the fourth question. The current in a series RL circuit with R and L are given, it is connected to a DC supply. What will be the current after the switch is closed? Now, from the question, we can understand that before the switch was closed, there was no current flowing in the particular circuit. Now, the property of an inductor is that it will oppose any changes in the current flowing through the inductor. So, before the current was 0, therefore, even when a transient is occurring, the current after the transient will also or during the transient will also be 0. Therefore, your correct answer is option D. The fifth question was cancelled. Therefore, we can move on to the sixth question. The Laplace transform of a function t cube e raised to minus at is. You can just refer these equations. You can see the equation for t raised to n is n factorial divided by s raised to n plus 1. And e raised to at is 1 by s minus a. So, e raised to minus at will be 1 by s plus a. Now, t raised to n e raised to at, you can just replace, you know the Laplace transform of t raised to n. So, you can just replace s by s minus a. Since it was e raised to at, you are substituting s by s minus a. If it is e raised to minus at, you will be substituting instead of s, you will be giving s plus a. So, you can give n factorial divided by s plus a raised to n plus 1. So, if you can substitute n equal to 3, you will be getting the correct answer, and option B is the correct answer. 6 divided by s plus a whole raised to 4. Moving on to the seventh question, the effective addition of 0 to the open loop transfer function is, if you are adding zeros to the transfer function, it will pull the root locus to the left and the system will become more stable. Whereas if you are adding poles to the transfer function, it will pull the root locus to the right and the system will become less stable. So if you're checking the options given over here, option C is the correct answer. That is, it will pull the root locus to the left and speed up the settling of the response. That means the system will become more stable and settling of the response will become faster. Moving on to the question number 8. Polar plot of a sinusoidal transfer function is a plot of. The correct answer is option A, magnitude and phase angle. Moving on to question number 9. The gain margin is the. The correct answer is option D. It is the reciprocal of the magnitude of g of j omega at the frequency at which the phase angle is minus 180 degrees. You can just check this particular figure over here. You can see over here the gain margin has been marked and it was marked at the phase crossover frequency of minus 180 degrees. That is, the gain margin is the gain corresponding to the phase angle of minus 180 degrees. Similarly, if you are checking the phase margin has been given. You can check over here at the bottom. The phase margin will be the phase difference from 180 degrees when the corresponding gain is 0 dB. So it is just for your refreshment. We can move on to the next question. Bipolar transistor, you have all the parameters, the load resistance, voltage VCC, base voltage is given, then VCE saturation is given, VBE saturation is given. What will be the collector saturation current? Now, I have just given the circuit for the BJT configuration over here. Now, you can just check the value of VCC and the base input, that is VCE and VBE. Whenever VCE is greater than VBE, or whenever this voltage is greater than this voltage, at that time the collector base junction will be reverse biased, and when there is a reverse bias, no current will be flowing through this particular portion, and therefore you can write the equation for the collector saturation current as VCC minus VCE divided by the load resistance, and over here the load resistance is already given as 11 ohms. On substituting the values, you will get option B as the correct answer. Moving on to the next question, the current rating of a relay is 5 amperes and it is set to 150%. CT ratio is given, the fault current is also given. What will be the PSM? Now, you can just read this portion, is for your information. Plug setting PSM or plug setting multiplier. Now, the plug setting, it is the equation has already been given. It is the CT secondary current in the relay divided by the pickup current, where the pickup current is the current at which the plunger begins to move. Now, basically current setting means you can select at which current value you want to make the relay to get tripped. That means in this particular question it has been set to 150%. What is 150% of 5 ampere? 150% of 5 amperes is 7.5 amperes. So our relay will get tripped at 7.5 amperes. You can also change the current setting. That means you can also make the relay to get tripped at a lower value. If you are setting it instead of 150%, you are setting it to 50%. That means the relay will get tripped at 2.5 amperes. Now, with the parameters given in the question, you cannot use the first equation, so you will check the second equation. It is the CT primary current during fault divided by the relay current setting into the CT ratio. So relay current setting, we already told it is 150% of 5 amperes, that is 7.5, and the remaining parameters have already been given. So you can substitute the values and get the final answer. Question 12 was cancelled. Moving on to the 13th question, a generating station has a connected load of 500 megawatt and a maximum demand of 300 megawatt. The units generated are given, and what will be the load factor? We already know the equation for load factor is given by average load divided by the maximum demand. Now, in this particular question, the average load or the average demand is not given. So, we already know the equation for the average load is given by the kWh generated per annum divided by the hours in a year. The hours in a year are given by 24 into 365. We are considering 365 days in a year. 24 into 365. And the units generated per annum has been given. So, 1 unit is equal to 1 kWh. So, the number of kWh generated per annum is the same. You have 600 into 10 raised to 6. And you can just substitute these values, that is the average demand and the maximum demand has already been given. You can substitute in this equation and you will get the answer. While substituting, you need to note one point is that the maximum demand is given in megawatt and our average demand is in kWh or in kW. So you need to do certain conversions. I have converted megawatt to kilowatt. That is why I have multiplied 10 raised to 3 with 300. And you will be getting option D as the correct answer, that is 22.83%. Moving on to question number 14. 132 kilovolt 200 kilometer long transmission line has a reactance of 0.2 ohms per phase per kilometer. What is the reactance in per unit? And the base MVA is 100 MVA. Now this is a general equation which you can by heart for such objective exams. The main derivation is that to get the per unit impedance, you just need to divide the actual impedance divided by the base impedance. Base impedance is given by kilovolt base square divided by the base value of the MVA. So you can do the substitutions, everything is given, except one thing you need to note is that the total or the actual impedance is given over here per kilometer. So you need to multiply it with 200, that is how many kilometers are there, you need to multiply it with that many kilometers, and you need to substitute that value of the actual impedance, that is 200 into 0.2 when you are solving, and you will get the answer as option B, 0.23. Moving on to question number 15, which of the following is not true for a fault limiting reactor? Now, fault limiting reactor or current limiting reactor, it is an inductive coil having large inductance and low resistance. It is used for protecting or limiting the short circuits during the fault condition and also reduces the voltage disturbances on the rest of the system. But you need to note one point is that because it has a large inductive property, the voltage regulation cannot be improved. It is having a inductive property, therefore the voltage regulation will not be improved. Therefore, if you are looking at point C, they have given that they improve the voltage regulation. They reduce the voltage disturbance, but they do not improve the voltage regulation. The remaining points are correct and I have already mentioned it. Moving on to the next question, the positive sequence impedance of a transformer, it is equal to the negative sequence impedance. So, the option B is the correct answer. Moving on to question 17. You have two parallel alternators. The ratings are given and the subtransient reactance is given. What is the fault level for a fault on one of the feeders near the bus? Now, we need to find the fault level or the short circuit KVA. Fault level KVA or the short circuit KVA. Now, the answer over here, how you have to solve it is, the main equation is fault level KVA is equal to base KVA into 100 divided by the percentage impedance. Now, the percentage impedance is the total impedance of the system, and since the two alternators are in parallel, it will be, you have to take the total parallel impedance. So, the total parallel impedance will be XA into XB divided by XA plus XB. And since both of the alternators having the same subtransient reactance of 15%, you can substitute the values and you will get 7.5%. And you need to substitute the base KVA value. So, instead of 50 MVA, you will be substituting 50 into 10 raised to 3 into 100 divided by 7.5%, and this value is converted to MVA. You will be getting a KVA value and you need to convert it into MVA, and you will be getting the answer as 17A. So, 17A is the correct answer. Moving on to the 18th question. The positive sequence and zero sequence impedance of a generator are given and the neutral is grounded through a reactance Xn. When will the single line to ground fault be more severe than the three-phase fault? So, the condition at which this occurs is when Xn is less than 1 by 3 of X1 minus X0. So, the correct answer is option D. Moving on to question number 19, it is a general knowledge question, you can say, more or less a general knowledge question. A scheduled speed of 45 km per hour is required between two stops 1.5 km apart. If the stop is 20-second duration, what is the actual time of run for the train? Now, it is a simple question. We already know that time is equal to or velocity is equal to distance by time. From that, you can find out the time. Okay, you are just substituting the values and the value you will be getting in hours. So, you will be converting the hours into seconds and you will be getting the value as 120. Now, it is already mentioned that there is a 20-second stop duration. We only need to know the actual time of run. We do not need any stopping time. So, we will be subtracting the stopping time and you will be getting 100 seconds, and the answer is option C. So, option C, 100 seconds is the correct answer. Moving on to question number 20. What is the supply voltage of electric traction in Kerala? So, the answer is option D, that is 25. Option D is the correct answer, 25 kilovolt. AC supply is provided, not DC supply, AC supply. Moving on to question number 21. It is a question from digital electronics. What is the decimal number for 10101? So, you can just check out this box over here. I have given the conversion. You will be giving 1 into 2 raised to 0 plus 0 into 2 raised to 1. That is, for each position, you will be doing the particular value. So, for 1 into 2 raised to 0, I hope it is clear. 1 into 2 raised to 0, 0 into 2 raised to 1. Here it will be 2 raised to 2, 2 raised to 3, 2 raised to 4. And you multiply the corresponding number, add it, and you will be getting the answer as 21, or option A is the correct answer. Moving on to question number 22, which gate is known as the inverter gate. In the inverter gate, which will be the inverter gate? The answer is option C, the NOT gate. Whichever input you get, it will be inverted. If you are giving 0, it will be 1. If you are giving 1, it will be 0. Which of the following, 23, question 23, which of the following is a binary storage device? If you are looking at the options diode, BJT and SCR, that is A, C and D, all of these are just semiconductor devices. The only binary storage device over here is a flip-flop, that is option B. Moving on to question 24, the address of a memory location of Intel 8085 microprocessor is. The option B is the correct answer. It is a option B is the correct answer. That is, it is 16 bit is the address of a 8085 microprocessor. The last question, a voltage of V is applied across a RLC series circuit. A voltmeter is connected across L and C. What will be the reading of voltmeter at resonance? So at resonance, that is series resonance, the inductive reactance will be equal to the capacitive reactance, and the LC impedance will be acting as a short circuit. So if you are connecting a voltmeter across the LC, then you will be getting 0 voltage because it is acting as a short circuit. So here our answer is 25A, that is the answer is 0. So I hope your doubts related to this question paper have been cleared. Please stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.